Hi everyone, this is the Nordic Venture Show, your guide to the exciting world of Nordic startups and venture capital. In today's episode, we're exploring a unicorn called Wolt.
Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. This time, we are diving into the world of Wolt. They may just seem like a simple food delivery company, but trust me, there's a lot more going on here. You ready to get into it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so first off, Wolt has had a hand in 19 billion euros.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that. 19 billion euros in economic activity. And that's not even the craziest thing. Someone once ordered over 8,500 euros worth of stuff through Wolt. Like, who needs that many iPhones and laptops?
All right.
We'll get to that later, but first, let's just start with the basics. Wolt's story begins back in 2014. Just 6 founders crammed into a teeny tiny office in Helsinki.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about now. I mean, they're in 28 countries and like over 1,000 cities. That's insane growth in just 10 years. They even teamed up with DoorDash in the US.
Wow, so they really are all over the globe.
Yeah.
But what makes Wolt different from all the other delivery apps out there?
Well, to understand that, you really have to understand Helsinki. Think
Yeah.
about it. It's not a very dense city, and labor costs there are high. So to make delivery work in that environment, you have to be efficient. You have to be tech savvy. And those challenges, those were baked into Wolt from day one.
So they had to be super smart about their tech right from the start.
Oh, absolutely. And that really set them up for success later.
I see.
It's actually kind of cool how they've evolved, almost like building a new kind of infrastructure for cities. You know how cities need physical infrastructure like roads and bridges? Well, Wolt is building the digital equivalent of that.
Okay, I like that analogy.
They're connecting people to everything. Food, yeah, of course.
Right.
But also groceries, prescriptions, flowers, pet food, you name it, they probably deliver it.
Hold on. Prescriptions through Wolt. So, like, you could just order cough syrup at 3 a.m.
Ah, pretty much.
Wow. It's wild. But you said these non-restaurant orders are a big part of their business now.
Oh, yeah, huge. It's actually 1/5 of their total sales.
So it's not just about burgers anymore.
Nope, not at all. And that's a big reason why they've generated so much economic activity. 15 billion euros for the merchants on their platform. 3 billion in earnings for their 450,000 plus couriers.
Wow. So they're really creating a win-win. Local businesses get more customers, people get flexible work, and customers, well, we get our stuff delivered, right?
Exactly. And don't forget their Wolt Plus subscription program. That saved customers over 200 million euros.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. Seems like a pretty good deal. But, okay, we have to talk about the elephant in the room here. Delivery can be tough on the environment. So how is Wolt handling that?
Yeah, that's a big challenge for the whole industry. But Wolt is taking it seriously.
Good to hear.
They're actually doing some really cool things. Like in Stockholm, they partnered with this company, GoCiclo. It's a battery swapping program.
Oh, yeah, I read about that. So couriers can swap out their drained batteries for fully charged ones at these special stations. Seems like a lot faster than waiting around for your battery to recharge.
Oh, definitely. It keeps the couriers moving, makes the deliveries way more efficient. But the benefits go even further than that.
Okay, how so?
Well, think about it. The vehicles can be smaller and lighter. See, they don't need to carry these big, bulky batteries. And the charging stations, those can be optimized to use energy more efficiently. Less strain on the power grid.
Ah, that's really smart. So it's not just a green initiative, it's actually making the whole system better.
Exactly.
I love that. But, okay, I have to admit, the thing that really grabbed my attention was this story about the Wolt courier who traveled over 4,000 kilometers across 7 countries just to deliver a Georgian flag.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that too. Crazy dedication, right?
That's insane. And then you have that other story about that massive order, almost 8,600 euros worth of iPhones and laptops.
Yeah, who does that?
It really is mind-boggling. But it does make you think about the human element behind all these impressive numbers. Speaking of the human element, Wolt talks a lot about being a responsible company. How does that actually play out in their everyday operations?
Well, they have this strong belief that platform work can be a force for good. Not just for the company, but for society as a whole.
Okay, I like that.
And that translates into fair treatment for everyone involved, employees, couriers, merchants, you name it.
So they're really trying to walk the walk.
Exactly. They're also taking steps to combat climate change, which ties in with their goal of making cities better places to live.
It's a holistic approach. But
Yeah.
I'm curious, those operational challenges we talked about earlier, those unique challenges in Helsinki, did those shape their philosophy as they expanded globally?
Oh, absolutely. To make it in a place like Helsinki, you have to nail 3 things: technology, efficiency, and customer experience. And those became the core pillars of their approach as they grew.
So let's break those down, starting with technology. I mean, managing all these real-time deliveries, hungry customers, busy restaurants, traffic, it must be insanely complex.
No, it's a logistical nightmare. They have to rely on super sophisticated algorithms to optimize everything.
Okay, so it's not just some simple app.
No way. It's like having an air traffic controller for every single order.
That's a great way to put it. All right, so that's technology. What about efficiency? How do they keep things running smoothly as they expand into all these new markets?
Well, one key is that they empower their local country teams.
That makes sense. You need people on the ground who understand the nuances of each market.
Exactly. But they're also masters of productizing and automating things.
Productizing and automating.
Basically figuring out how to make processes repeatable and then automating them.
Ah, so they can scale efficiently even in smaller countries.
Exactly.
Clever. And finally, customer experience. How do they keep folks coming back for more?
Well, they're obsessed with creating this seamless, enjoyable experience.
Like from start to finish?
Yep. Their app is super user-friendly, even for people who aren't that tech-savvy.
Okay, that's important.
Plus, they offer real-time customer support in the local language. And they're dedicated to resolving any issues quickly.
So they're really going above and beyond.
Absolutely.
I'm impressed. But we touched on ethical practices earlier. I'd like to dig a little deeper into that. How do those play out specifically?
Sure. Well, it starts with their employees. They really foster a positive and inclusive work environment, promoting equal opportunities and diversity. They want to make sure everyone feels valued and respected.
That's great to hear. But what about their courier partners? How do they ensure fair treatment and a sustainable working model for them?
Well, they're very aware of the concerns around gig work, and they're committed to being a responsible platform.
That's good.
They actually seek feedback from their couriers regularly through surveys and stuff to understand their needs and concerns.
So they're actually listening.
Yep. They're also working to improve earnings and introduce safety nets, just generally removing obstacles to make sure couriers have a positive experience.
It sounds like they're really trying to make a difference, not just treating couriers as anonymous workers.
Right.
What about their relationships with merchants? How do they ensure fairness and sustainability on that front?
They see merchants as long-term partners, not just businesses listing on their platform.
Okay, so it's a more collaborative approach.
Exactly. They're always looking for ways to bring restaurants more orders. And they're responsive to their needs. The goal is to create a balance where both Wolt and the merchants benefit.
It's a win-win. But their commitment to ethical practices goes beyond just their internal operations, right?
What about their customers and society as a whole?
Absolutely. They're obsessed with providing excellent customer service, keeping people happy.
That's always a good thing.
They're very responsive to customer inquiries and complaints, and they're always looking for ways to improve.
So they're not just resting on their laurels.
Not at all.
And what about their broader societal impact? How are they addressing their responsibility to society at large?
Well, one big thing is their focus on climate change.
Right, we talked about the battery swapping program.
Exactly. But they're also exploring other sustainable solutions.
So they're really trying to be a force for good in the world.
They are. It's clear that Wolt is going beyond the traditional role of a delivery company. They're taking a much more holistic approach.
Yeah, they're really thinking about the well-being of their employees, their partners, their customers, and the environment.
It's impressive.
It really is.
So they're not just delivering food and goods. They're delivering on a promise of a better future.
I like that. They are.
Well said.
Yeah.
All right, so that wraps up the first part of our deep dive into the world of Wolt.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have. But there's still so much more to uncover about this dynamic and innovative company.
Oh, yeah. Lots more to come.
So stay tuned for part 2 of this deep dive.
We'll be back soon. It's kind of wild how Wolt's sustainability efforts actually benefit their couriers, too.
Yeah, you're right. Like, it's not just about being eco-friendly. It's also about improving the working conditions for the people delivering our stuff.
Exactly. Take the battery swapping thing we talked about. No more long charging breaks. Couriers can do more deliveries. And the whole system just flows better.
Makes sense. Plus, they're really pushing for ethical platform work in general, trying to set a better standard for the whole gig economy.
Absolutely. It shows they really get it. Happy couriers usually means happy customers.
It's refreshing to see a company actually care about its workforce, especially in an industry that doesn't always have the best reputation.
For real. It's not just about fair pay either. They're listening to feedback, implementing safety measures, trying to build a work environment where people feel respected.
That's huge. It all ties back to their whole philosophy of building a sustainable and responsible business.
Yep. They're not just chasing profits, they actually want to make a positive impact.
And I think that resonates with customers, too. People are paying more attention to a company's values these days.
Oh, definitely. Consumers want to support businesses that align with their own beliefs.
So Wolt is kind of tapping into that.
They're proving that you can be successful and ethical at the same time.
It's a winning formula for sure. All right, so let's shift gears a bit. I want to talk about the tech behind all of this.
Yeah.
You mentioned their algorithms earlier. Can you explain those a little bit more?
Oh, yeah. Their algorithms are basically the brains of the operation. They're constantly crunching data to optimize delivery routes, estimate arrival times, and just make sure everything runs smoothly.
It sounds incredibly complex.
It is. They're taking into account so many factors: traffic conditions, restaurant wait times, courier availability, and even stuff like order volume.
It's like a giant puzzle.
Pretty much.
But these algorithms are a huge part of why Wolt is so efficient.
Absolutely. And they're constantly learning and improving, getting smarter with every delivery.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
But it's not just about speed and efficiency. These algorithms are also helping them reduce their environmental impact.
Right. By optimizing routes and reducing delivery times, they're also minimizing fuel consumption and emissions.
So it's a double win. Speaking of sustainability, let's talk about that partnership with GoCiclo. That battery swapping program seems like a game changer.
Oh, it is. It completely eliminates that downtime associated with charging electric vehicles.
Right.
Instead of waiting around for their batteries to recharge, couriers can just swap them out for fully charged ones at these stations.
Like a pit stop for electric vehicles.
Yeah, exactly.
And that means more deliveries, which means more earnings for the couriers.
Exactly.
Plus, it's better for the environment.
Those centralized charging stations can be optimized for energy efficiency, so less strain on the power grid overall.
And I'm guessing it also allows Wolt to use smaller, lighter vehicles.
You got it. Those swappable batteries open up a whole new world of possibilities.
So it's a win-win-win. Couriers get more efficiency and earnings, Wolt reduces its environmental impact, and customers get their stuff delivered faster.
Exactly.
It's a really smart system. Okay, so we've talked about tech, we've talked about sustainability, but let's not forget about the human element here. What other initiatives does Wolt have in place to support its couriers?
Well, they offer a whole range of benefits, like accident insurance and sick pay, and they also provide access to training and development resources.
That's great.
They're really focused on creating a positive and supportive work environment. They want their couriers to feel valued and appreciated.
It's really refreshing to see.
It's all part of their commitment to building a sustainable and responsible business model.
Right. They're not just focused on the bottom line. They're thinking about the bigger picture.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about the customer experience, because at the end of the day, that's what really matters.
Absolutely. Wolt is obsessed with making sure their customers are happy.
And how do they do that?
Well, they have this philosophy of creating a seamless and enjoyable experience from start to finish.
Okay, so walk me through that.
First off, their app is super user-friendly, easy to navigate, clear menus, multiple payment options.
So it's intuitive even for people who aren't tech savvy.
Yeah, exactly. They've really removed all the friction points.
And then there's the real-time order tracking,
Yeah.
so you can see exactly where your food is.
Right. No more wondering if your burger is lost in the delivery void.
I've been there.
And if there are any issues, their customer support team is always ready to help.
What's so special about their customer support?
Well, they prioritize speed and responsiveness above all else. Their goal is to answer inquiries and resolve problems as quickly as possible.
So no more waiting on hold for hours.
Nope, they get it. When you have a problem, you want a solution fast.
And they offer support in multiple languages too, right?
They do. They want to make sure everyone feels comfortable reaching out for help.
That's great. It's all about going the extra mile to create a positive experience.
Exactly.
And it seems like their efforts are paying off.
Oh, yeah. They consistently get high ratings and positive reviews.
That's the best kind of advertising.
It really is. It shows they're doing something right.
But it's not just about providing good service. It's also about being responsive to feedback and constantly improving.
Absolutely. They're always asking for feedback from their users. Through surveys, in-app ratings, social media, you name it.
And they actually take that feedback seriously.
They do. They're constantly analyzing it and looking for ways to improve their offerings.
It's a smart approach. By listening to their customers, they can stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly.
The world is changing fast, and they're making sure they change with it.
It's all about continuous improvement.
So they've built this loyal customer base who appreciate their dedication to quality, convenience, and sustainability.
It's a winning combination.
It really is. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about their sustainability efforts, their commitment to their careers, and their dedication to customer satisfaction. But I think it's clear that Wolt is doing something different.
Oh, yeah, they are.
They're not just another delivery company. They're trying to build something better,
And they're proving that it's possible.
that you can be successful and ethical.
Exactly.
It's an inspiring story.
It really is.
Now, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'm curious about what the future holds for Wolt. What's next for this innovative company?
Well, the future's full of possibilities. They're constantly pushing the boundaries, exploring new technologies, expanding into new markets.
So what are some of the key trends and innovations that are shaping their future?
Well, one of the most exciting things is the rise of artificial intelligence.
AI is everywhere these days. How is Wolt using it?
They're using it to optimize their deliveries, personalize recommendations, and even predict customer demand.
So they're taking their already impressive capabilities to the next level.
Exactly. Think AI-powered route optimization, personalized recommendations based on your past orders, and even AI-driven demand prediction.
Wow, that's incredible. But it's not just about improving their existing services. They're also looking to expand into new areas.
Right. They want to be more than just a food delivery app.
So what's on the horizon?
They're exploring on-demand grocery shopping, pharmacy deliveries, dry cleaning services, even pet care.
They really want to be a one-stop shop for everything.
It's a bold vision.
But they've shown they can execute.
That they have.
What about geographic expansion?
They're definitely aiming to become a global player. They're already in Europe and parts of Asia, and they have that partnership with DoorDash in the U.S.
So world domination is the goal.
Haha, maybe not world domination, but they definitely want to bring the Wolt experience to as many people as possible.
It's amazing to see how far they've come in such a short time.
It really is. And they've done it all while staying true to their values.
That's the most impressive part.
It is.
So what does all this mean for the future of delivery?
Well, Wolt is already a major force in the industry. They're pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and they're showing that a company can be successful while also prioritizing ethical values.
It's a new standard.
It is.
Their journey is a testament to the power of innovation and a commitment to doing things the right way.
I couldn't agree more.
Well, that wraps up the second part of our deep dive into the world of Wolt. We've explored their incredible growth, their dedication to sustainability, and their ambitious plans for the future. But there's one more crucial aspect of Wolt's impact we need to discuss: their potential to shape the future of our cities.
That's right. Wolt is already changing how we interact with our cities, but their potential goes way beyond just convenience.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's explore that idea further in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay.
So we've talked about how Wolt is changing the delivery game, but you were just saying how they have the potential to shape the future of our cities. What do you mean by that?
It's about thinking bigger, not just about getting your food or groceries delivered faster. It's about Wolt becoming part of the city itself.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Imagine a city where Wolt's network, their couriers, their vehicles, are actually woven into the infrastructure, helping to solve some of the biggest urban challenges we face.
I'm listening.
Let's take sustainability, for example. What if Wolt's entire fleet was electric? Or even used drones in certain areas? That could have a massive impact on traffic and emissions.
Right. Less pollution, cleaner air? That's a city I want to live in.
Exactly. And remember how we talked about their commitment to ethical platform work? Well, that could extend to creating better job opportunities in cities, too.
Oh, so?
Imagine Wolt setting the standard for gig work. Fair wages, benefits, safe working conditions. That could have a ripple effect across the whole industry.
So they could be a force for social change as well.
Absolutely.
But could their impact go even further?
Oh, definitely. Think about the challenges cities face. Food insecurity, access to healthcare, supporting local businesses. Wolt could partner with local organizations and use their platform to connect people with essential resources.
So they deliver meals to people in need or transport medical supplies.
Exactly. They could become a lifeline within the city.
That's pretty powerful.
And they could also play a key role in revitalizing neighborhoods by supporting small businesses, making it easier for people to shop locally.
So they're not just delivering stuff. They're strengthening communities.
That's the idea.
That's a pretty amazing vision. But can they actually pull it off? What needs to happen?
Well, they definitely need to keep innovating, but they also need to stay true to their values and really understand the needs of each city they operate in.
It's a delicate balance.
It is. It's not just about disrupting things. It's about making a positive impact.
And it seems like Wolt is in a good position to do just that.
I think so.
They've got the technology, the vision, and the commitment. It's an exciting time to be watching them.
It really is.
Their journey is a reminder that true innovation is about making the world a better place.
Well said.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of Wolt. Hopefully you learned a thing or two.
It's been a fascinating journey for sure.
As Wolt continues to grow, it'll be interesting to see how their story unfolds.
I can't wait to see what they do next.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a topic that matters. Until then, keep exploring and keep learning.
Thanks for listening to the Nordic Venture Show. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more stories of innovation from the Nordics.